and locations for each meeting. Over $726 million have been raised by the Greater Milwaukee Foundation's Greater Together campaign. The organization announced the good news over the weekend. The campaign received more than 4,800 donors, with several included in the Drive-Through campaign, contributing to the overall sum of a whopping $35.6 million. The Greater Together campaign focuses on building and cultivating resources and partnerships to grow better Milwaukee for all. Although they
works at 12 o'clock?
They're still encouraging more donations.
Who did the show today?
This is
You know,
12 o'clock is Ben and Mel.
Okay.
Next on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together. They're all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man, given change. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. Now I'm asking the mayor and the common council president and the common council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. And of course, I forgot to do the one thing that I was supposed to do. I was supposed to send myself an email about something, but you know how it is. So it's Monday, and so much is going on today because of all the things that happened over the weekend. I think the most notable thing to occur over the weekend was the church shooting. And I want to get into that. I want to start looking at where are we going that we start shooting up churches? And I guess not that we're shooting up churches, but the reasons why we're shooting up churches, right? I think I've been hanging out with Tori Lowe and the morning show too loud. Because somebody said, hey, dude, why you always hollering? You used to talk quiet, and then you used to get upset when you said it. And I was like, well, because I don't know. That's a good question. So I think this week, for the rest of Black History Month, I'm going to take some time to just chill. And then there's a shooter in Houston at a mega church. A shooter with a long criminal history, weapons charges, walks into a popular Texas mega church. And when I say mega, I mean mega. Like 10, 25, 30,000 members. with a long gun. A long gun, not a now granted, you're in Texas. So many times people don't get a little bothered because you got a gun in Texas, right? Joel Osteen's Lakewood Church, 6 miles from downtown Houston. Woman identified in a search warrant as Genesee Yvonne Moreno, 36, entered the church shortly before 2 p.m. wearing a trench coat and a backpack and opened fire. Now, watch this. What was the temperature yesterday in Texas? Anybody know? Probably 50, 60 degrees, right? This is me. This is, let me rephrase that. This is cop me. Walking in church with a long gun and a trench coat, that is nothing that's good. Officers shot and killed her in self-defense after she pointed the weapon at them, according to a search warrant released Monday, that's today, by the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office. Her son was shot in the head during the shooting and remains in the hospital today in critical condition. It's unclear who fired the shot that injured the child. Well, if they got the bullet, it won't be too hard to find. Police have not shared details about the possible motive, and the injured man was shot in the leg, sought treatment at a hospital, and was released. And the warrant identified him as Tom George Thomas. Why would you put his name in the report? But I digress. The gunfire unfolded while the church was in between services, preparing to go into a Spanish service. Joel Osteen said in Sunday's news conference. I can only imagine if it would have happened during the 11 o'clock service. So what does that mean, Joel? You can shoot Spanish-speaking people, but is that what you mean, Joel? No, that's not what Joel Osteen meant, but I get it. They probably had significantly more people at the 11 o'clock service. And so the shooting is just the latest instance of gun violence erupting and disrupting American life at places once considered safe. It's a place of worship. We've had shootings at schools, grocery stores, malls, outlet malls, hospitals, college campuses, house parties. Is there anywhere that's safe? Is there anywhere in Milwaukee that's safe? I know some of the places that we think are safe. I know some of the places that we hope are safe. But in the end, are they? Moreno entered the church accompanied by her son. Once she entered, at some point, she started firing. 2 off-duty officers were present, 28-year-old Houston Police Department officer and a 38-year-old agent with the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission, both with less than 5 years of service. 2 officers engaged the shooter. She was struck. She was pronounced dead at 2:07. The shooter used a legally purchased AR-15. You ready? With a Palestine sticker on it. A federal law enforcement source previously told, and this story is from CNN.com, Free Palestine was written on the gun, and she had a .22 caliber weapon in her bag, which was not used in the attack. And they're trying to determine whether she was politically motivated or a disturbed individual. I don't know. I got Palestine, Free Palestine on my gun. And I have AR-15. And I start shooting. So the question is, what did she say? Well, both officers who engaged the shooter will be placed on administrative duty, of course, pending investigation. But where can we go now? Listen to what we're saying. It was safer to be at the Super Bowl yesterday than it was at church. And the Super Bowl is a level 1 activity, right? You got FBI, Homeland Security, and other alphabet agencies there, along with local police, county police. Yet the one place you would think, the one place where your blessing is, church, you think you would be safe. And a woman comes in with a gun. Thank God there were 2 off-duty officers working extra employment that particular day. So what do we do? How do we curb this? How do we stop this from happening? 833-212-1017. How do we stop people from shooting up churches? Because I tell you, I got to admit, it's official. There's nowhere in America you can now call a safe place.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth. 1017 The Truth is now the proud home of Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference basketball. Tune in every week so you don't miss out on the classic rivalry game we all love, the high-flying dunks that leave us in awe, and the memorable moments where Milwaukee basketball legends are born. City Conference basketball on 1017 The Truth is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools, MPS proud, and presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit freighter.com/cancer.
When it comes to getting the smile of your dreams, you can't just trust anyone. So look no further than Bubon Orthodontics. Bubon Orthodontics is Wisconsin's #1 Invisalign provider and has been providing the best value for braces and Invisalign since 1993. With 15 convenient locations, you're sure to find one in your area. Schedule your free consultation today. Call or text 262-522-7447 or visit bubonortho.com. Bubon Orthodontics, a family treating families.
When you join Educators Credit Union, you're not just another number or just another customer. You're a member owner. As a member owner, you can expect award-winning financial services, free financial education, and a team of people by your side helping you make informed financial decisions. Ready to join the Educators Credit Union family? Membership is open to anyone who lives or works in southeastern Wisconsin, no matter your career. Learn more at ecu.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility is required.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
When is basketball? You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. Hey, want to remind you the award-winning 1017 The Truth is the home of Milwaukee Panthers basketball. Don't miss any hoop action by listening to Panthers basketball on 1017 The Truth app, and all your favorite streaming platforms. Cupid has an arrow for the Panthers. They're going to play on Valentine's Day. Cleveland State Vikings. That's this Wednesday. January. Ooh, did I say January? Ooh, January. You know I say January on purpose. January 14th. Roll back the clock. Yep, you only got 2 days, player. Better get it. Go find that gift. Go get her did. Because anyway, Cupid is taking an arrow to the Panthers, and they're going to be on the road to take on the Cleveland State Vikings. This Wednesday, Valentine's Day. Coverage begins at 5:30, 6 o'clock tip-off right here on the award-winning 117 The Truth. Speaking of The Truth, the brother, you're on the award-winning 117 The Truth.
Oh, hey, good afternoon, Dr. King. Peace be the great, my brother.
Yep. What's up?
I just want to comment on, man. You say, man, that somebody came into the church and shut up everybody.
No. She didn't get to shoot up the place because as she started shooting, the two officers who were working there part-time off duty engaged her and subsequently killed her.
They were working inside the church?
Yes. Inside.
Oh man, that's still kind of deep to have officers. I understand the land for having officers inside the church.
But lots of churches have off-duty police officers in the church.
Wow. That's the one I go to. But wow, man, that's still.
Wait. You mean the one that you go to that you don't know about, or the ones that you go to that you don't see?
Well, the one I go to, I don't know.
And that's the whole point. That is the whole point. Yep.
All right, Dr. King, man. Continue to do your stuff, good doctor. I like where you operate, my brother.
All right, take care.
Okay, peace.
833-212-1017 is the number. Tune in to the award-winning 1017 The Truth. This Saturday, 10 a.m., I've got another episode of Diversity and Excellence powered by Erie Insurance. If you don't catch these, you miss a lot of information about Erie Insurance, about why you need insurance, life insurance, car insurance, health insurance, and you ready? If you want to become an insurance agent or get a job at Erie Insurance, that's why you need to check it out. Myself and Fred Johnson, Vice President, Wisconsin State Manager for Erie Insurance, are going to be discussing rising insurance costs, the top 10 risk factors that could negatively impact insurance costs, not just for you, but actually for an insurance company. Like, what does an insurance company do to make sure your insurance stays low? Right? And so some of it you like, some of it you don't like, but in the end, everybody wins. Don't miss Diversity and Excellence powered by Erie Insurance this Saturday, 10 a.m., right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Hey, wow, it's Monday. This Friday, we're going to have another 2024 Black History Month history challenge for female inventors. So make sure you check that out. So we give away some more. The first question involved who created what then became the precursor to and subsequently the central HVAC systems in modern buildings. That was Alice H. Walker. And last Friday, the woman who became the second Black woman to receive a U.S. patent with her invention of the fold-out bed, Sarah E. Good. So we're going to be doing that. You're going to be checking that out. But anyway, the whole piece of shooting at a church just has me a little off. And I think it's important that we start paying attention. We're so scared to not offend people that we don't stop people that are doing things that could possibly save your life. Now, in the event, because it's out there, little boy got shot in the head. We don't know if his mama shot him in the head. We don't know if one of the cops was shooting at her and shot him in the head. We don't know if she was holding the boy. We don't know what was going on, but she brought her son to a gunfight. So I would say she's ultimately responsible for the fact that that happened. Knowingly and willingly took an AR-15 into a church. Now, granted, I don't know if that church, because it's in Texas, says, hey, you can't bring a gun in here. But those are things that'll come out in the subsequent investigation. But we have to be hyper vigilant about what we do, where we go, how we do it, and all this rubbish about, hey, all this stuff is happening in the Black and Hispanic community. Yeah. And now, 833-212-1017 is the number. Sandra, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hi, Dr. Ken.
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm just sitting and listening to you, your topic today. And how are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely phenomenal.
Okay. Now about the shooting at the church. Now we got to go with the thoughts and prayers and the mentalness, and so we got to find out if the lady needed mental health. And
Why do we always go there first? Wait. Why can't we just realize that people intentionally do evil things? No, and no politician said that today. They didn't say it today. I read the story. They didn't say it today.
So we want our rights. In other words, they think they're saying you can't have a gun. And that's not what they're saying, especially these military gun style stuff. And people have bullets packed in backpacks. The girl had a backpack on her back, so you don't know what she had in that. They thought she had a bomb. But, and then I saw where the laws are even getting more lenient, where like down in Texas, where the shooting was, they said something like they were going to, they won't need training. You don't have to have training, and you don't have to have a permit.
You don't need training here, and you don't need a permit. All you need is a concealed carry license if you want to carry concealed. But you don't need you don't. No. They already got them. If you shoot somebody and you're not supposed to, you can go to prison. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Wait a minute. Time out. Sandra. I'm not going to stop talking until you stop talking. Sandra, why do you think people will just why help me understand the mindset? Why is it that you think you can pass a law and everybody will just follow it? The fact that you had to pass a law should show. Well, then why are you saying that? Like, why are you thinking that? Stop saying what they say. I don't care what they say. I don't know who the euphemistic they is.
You know who I'm talking about.
I don't know who you're talking about.
He said that they got to get the laws passed up everywhere.
They got the laws already.
Well, wherever, what legislation.
The laws are on the laws are on the books. All they got to do is enforce them. Who's gun happy? Are you saying everybody that has a gun is gun happy? I guess the police are gun happy. What that got to do with Sandra? You're making assumptions for why people have guns instead of just asking. I don't care what they're saying. I'm asking you why you're believing it. Why are you believing it?
Why do I believe what?
That people are gun happy and they're right. Why is that? And are you complaining about the black kids that are shooting black kids in Milwaukee gun happy or what? Answer my question. See how when I ask you that question, you always sidestep. Right. Wow. We don't know what they need. We don't know what they need. How you know?
They be on the corner, got them selling drugs,
Mm-hmm.
and they selling guns to them. There's a lot of stuff going. I sit here and I look out the window and I see it. I'm gonna tell you I see it. And the politicians don't care, because when they get up in those offices, they don't care what happens to, I'm gonna say it, black people, because they want us out of here anyhow.
So what should we do then? If politicians want, and we got a lot of black politicians in Milwaukee, if they want us out of town, if they want us gone, if they want us out of our houses, if they want to move back into the city, where are we going to go and what should we do?
To the moon.
Okay, now you're just being. Yeah.
More made out of what the situation is. But I'm just going to say this one more thing.
Right?
Why can't we get protection? I know they have.
Time out. What do you mean? Police protecting or individuals protecting?
I'm just saying, in the world, they got police protection too. The rich people, the people who have the money, you don't never hear no crime going on in their area.
That's because they won't tolerate it, and if their kids do something, they call the police and get their kids arrested. That ain't got nothing to do with money. That ain't got nothing to do with money. Because I know some black communities where stuff like that does not happen. These ain't rich people. These are middle class people. I don't know whether or not they got guns. I think they take care of their families, is what they do. Are you assuming that's the only way that you can take care of your family is to have a gun? We're not talking about them. Why do we keep talking? Who is they?
Well, you said it. Some communities, you know, that don't.
Yes, I was being very specific. You keep saying they have guns. They who?
Well, the lady had a gun. How'd you get it?
I don't really care. She had a legal AR-15. She, on a dumb day, walked into a church where police responded and now she's dead. That's unfortunate for her child. Unfortunately, her child got shot. But when you bring it to professionals, that's what usually happens.
Well, what about the kids that brought it in that church down south in North Carolina?
He shot people and.
On the internet. He got on the internet.
Okay, so are we fishing around so I can say you're right about something or what? I'll gladly say you're right.
Something was wrong in his head.
Okay.
He thought he could go up to the church.
So watch this. You're right. But watch this. We can always blame how a person thinks that made them do something. There are some people that are just evil. And we can keep blaming mental health, but the problem with blaming mental health is now someone will look at Sandra and they'll think Sandra gonna do something, so they'll lock Sandra up before she even does it. That's a problem. But anyway, let me go because I got some more calls. Thank you, Sandra. You gonna call later? You gonna call later? See how Sandra hung up on me? Y'all see that? Y'all see how she treated me? 833-212-1017 is the number. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Good evening. I think for us as people, we have so many excuses, but we have no expectations. Sometimes we always looking for somebody to come with the answer when it starts with us. But a lot of times we don't want to face what we see in the mirror, so we start making excuses. Prime example, a lot of our grandparents wasn't born with a silver spoon in their mouth, but they raised their kids. They had a certain class and an expectation. But for some reason, we come with all these excuses. So what about what the rich people do? What about what we do? Because see, we can make all the excuses for what goes on in our neighborhood, but every person has a mind and they know right from wrong. Also, with these guns, if you look at the laws, the lessons of life, they always pick on the innocent. They never go after the strong because they will be matched with the same energy. But we got to start having more standards, more expectations for ourselves, and stop coming with this sugar honey iced tea excuses on why we have things in our neighborhood. Because some of the things we got going on in our neighborhood, we can fix. So we can't look for somebody else to fix something where we can fix it ourselves. Like with the garbage, the crime, you know, some of these people know their kids out there, they don't want to turn them in. You know, you got anonymous, you can turn their kids in too and live right next door to them. But it starts with us. And when you look at other groups of people, they say, oh, they looking for us. They looking for us to help them when they ain't helping themselves. But then when they come to your neighborhood and gentrify, what's going to happen? Because they already started it now.
Well, what do you think about more police being in the neighborhood and following up and doing crimes and, you know what I mean, locking people up like they're supposed if they commit a crime?
Well, I think a lot of people need some nice long vacation. And I also feel some of these people have learned the law and they learned to exploit the loophole in the law. So some people just need to be locked up for a couple of years. I understand it's going to be some of these people kids. Oh, well, they did the crime. they do the time. Because there's no excuse that grandma can't drive her Crown Victoria or her Grand Marquis to go get her groceries, because now she's oppressing her in the same neighborhood that she raised everybody else's kids.
All right, I got a question for you, Al.
Go for it.
We keep talking about oppression in the Black community and how other people oppress us. Do we ever take a look, or have you ever taken a look at how Black people oppress other Black people who can't fight back and who can't get out of their house and who can't drive their car?
Look at that's because those same people, they don't care about the people that's in the neighborhood, and that's the sad part. But then when other people come to that neighborhood and say, you're not going to do that here, now everybody got their hands up in the air. And that's the pros and cons of it. If you don't care about where you live at and somebody else come care and they finna push you out and put you behind them steel bars, you can't blame nobody except yourself.
All right. Well, thank you much, Al. I appreciate it.
Have a great day.
All right. You too.
Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
What was the life change? You know, we all know it happened and we know things happen and we have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, you know, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight, but they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements for you to get approved to be on the list. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease, and he's on dialysis, and he wants to get on the list, and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, you know, to get on it. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. You know, that's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you go out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and, you know.
Yeah, but that was a
water.
choice, right?
It was a choice.
Yeah.
But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute, even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned that the athlete, his relative actually died, and they wanted to take his organs, and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list. Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors. And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to, because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
Gruber offices and other business owners help local startups get on their feet on project pitches. Watch it Saturday nights at 10:35 on WISN 12. One call, that's all.
Are you or anyone you know looking for a job? Direct Connect MKE is a social media style platform that empowers you to grow your social network, find career opportunities, and connect with career specialists for success. Visit joindcmke.com today to learn how you can create a profile, upload your resume, and find access to information about jobs, job training, hiring events, and more. DC MKE is locally focused and equips you to grow your social capital and find opportunities that match your career interests. Visit joindcmke.com today and connect your dream to reality.
The traffic and weather update on the award-winning 1017 The Truth is sponsored by the City of Milwaukee's Direct Connect MKE. Make connections and explore career opportunities by visiting directconnectmke.com. Southbound on 894 at about National Avenue. We got the left lane blocked with an accident involving a semi. That's backing things up through the zoo interchange. Also on northbound 4394 around Howard Avenue, we've got an accident off on the right shoulder being worked on. Westbound 94, heavy from about 25th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange to Holly Road. The eastbound side slowing down at 68th Street all the way to about 35th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 28. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Flurries are possible with a high of 38. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
All your favorite interviews and best moments live in one place.
You know, I'm working in the morning and I'm listening back on the Truth app.
Download the new 1017 The Truth app now. Milwaukee Black Talk 1017 The Truth. You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017. 17 is the number. I was just reading the talking text line. Somebody said, Cavaliers controlled by white bureaucracy. Our vote means little to nothing to him. No one is prepared to challenge him. And then the caller said, that was from Jerome. The caller said, awesome take by Brother Al. Sugar on sugar honey iced tea is still funky. Yes, it is. Good doc, to your point, evil comes in all shapes and colors. And then he said, especially orange. Talking about Trump. It just amazes me that my point of view is, when will the Black community ever, and not that they haven't done it in the past, step up and just stop the violence in the community? When are we going to step up and tell people what you're doing is wrong and you need to stop? We have become so afraid to tell people, so afraid to say, I disagree with that, that now churches are even afraid to speak up and say things that they believe because they don't want to offend people. It's not against the law to be offended, but people have lost their jobs. People have been removed, canceled, all sorts of things. And then we play semantics. Well, what you're saying really isn't canceling. Canceling is when, be quiet, stop. We're getting to a point in society where we are starting to literally crumble. We are starting to not recognize that you are creating history today. That means for someone tomorrow, it's going to be worse. We can't keep using race as a reason why people do things wrong, because other people are playing into it. Wrong is wrong. Had a great conversation over the weekend with a guy, a few years younger than me, probably about 9 or 10 years younger than me, but couldn't understand why Black people, why when you went for a job, you had to put your race. And I said, well, what do you mean? What comes from that? Because the government collects that data. So what's the big deal? Why do you care? Well, I went to go get a job in the 1980s with the county, and I was told that I couldn't get the job because they were hiring Black people. And I said to him with a straight face, and this is someone I consider a friend and I know him. I asked, so you took that at face value? Like, you actually believe that? He said, yeah. I said, did you see Black people get hired? Like, did you see a sign that said hire Black only? Because that, what you just said, that's against the law. Can't do that. And so I say that to say, just because you believe it doesn't make it right. Just because you don't believe it doesn't make it so. You have to examine everything we do, everything we say, everywhere we go. Test it to see who put it out there. where it came from. Otherwise, we're just perpetuating lies that have no basis at all. And then it becomes folklore. Then folklore becomes fact. And then we're running with it and we're doing things based on something we don't even know to be true. But yet we've passed it down and passed it down and passed it down. And it becomes an urban myth only to find out later it wasn't true at all. Well, I don't want to call this that because of this, that, and the other. And then get upset when someone challenges you on something that you can't even defend. But because you believe it, we're supposed to just, I don't know, accept it. 833-212-1017 is the number. Zen, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Was listening, and I was listening earlier on the Christian station, and concerning that person that shot at the Church Osteen Church. Well, it is a gender person. It's a man. He tried to change. He's still a man. He's not a woman. So I want to get that straight. They said it was a little girl, not a boy. So let's get that straight. So this is what the thing is. It's not a woman. And anybody trying to handle a big old gun, it sounds like a man.
Well, wait a minute. I don't know if you can use that as a reason to handle it because I know. But first of all, don't raise your voice at me. So calm down a little bit. All right, take it down a bit. You can't make an assumption that a person's gender is what it is because they can handle a large gun. Because I've worked with a significant number of women in law enforcement who were at least a foot shorter than me, but could still handle a gun that I could. So I don't know if that necessarily tracks.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, the truth is, it's not a woman. That's the truth.
Well, is that from the Christian station or is that from someone in the medical field or someone? Well, does that make it true just because it came from a Christian station?
Well,
Oh.
why would it not be true if it's coming from a Christian station? I mean, that's what.
Well, what's the source is what I'm asking. What's the source of their information? Just because they said it doesn't make it so. What's the source?
You thinking that it's not a man?
That's not what I said, and that's not what I asked. I asked, what's the source of this station saying that the person? They might be. That's perfectly fine. But what I'm saying is,
I'm just saying maybe you can look it up even more and find out more about that person.
does it matter? Does it matter whether or not they're transgender or not?
Yeah, because
Why?
I'm saying the person already got issues. They already got issues. So in some cases,
Don't you have issues too? I mean, I'm not taking up for the transgender community or the heterosexual community for that matter, but don't you have issues too? Don't you have issues too? I got issues.
everybody has issues.
Okay.
But I'm saying that might add it. That might add it. That might have added.
So let me just ask the question. Are you a Christian?
Yes, I'm a Christian.
So you're being judgmental of someone else's heart based on the, hang on, don't interrupt me and let me finish, please. All right. There. I'm done. So you're being judgmental of someone who, quote unquote, let's be real, who quote unquote is sinning, but yet you're a sinner yourself. But because you got one thing you can call out on somebody else that you don't have, they're like, So now we're reading people's hearts now. We're reading people how much love they have because they have a Jordan Love jersey on. Like, really? Like, what is that? Yep. It's time to take a break.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 10.